Hi, this is Dan, and you're watching iAllegedly. Welcome back. Got a good one for you today. Where can your small business get money if it cannot get a PPP loan? We're going to cover that. Plus, I'm going to do a small business stimulus update for you today. And before I get into it, please take a quick minute to like this video. Please share it. It's very important you do this with YouTube and with the algorithm and all that stuff as I learn more and more about this. So please share this with your friends. We have an email list and we're getting an email sent out shortly. So please join our email list. It's in the description below. And if any of you would like to get a free stock through Webull, we've got a link below where you can get that. It's very cool because people are sharing the different stocks that they're getting for free. You set up an account, it's absolutely free. If you put $100 in, they give you 2 more stocks. You can do whatever you want. But let's cover the stimulus update first. And that's the Democrats have just proposed $1,400 for everybody, every individual making under $75,000. It would cap at $100,000. So don't bother trying to figure out, oh, am I eligible? And if I made $82,000, what would I get? They're going to figure it out and they're going to send you the check. So it's $75,000 for an individual, and it would go to all dependents, adult dependents too, in your household, and they would send you the debit card again, like they did last time. Want to know what I learned about the debit card? Why did they send debit cards out when people had checks? There was so much fraud last time. There were so many checks sent out to people that had passed away, people that were ineligible, things like that. And do you think those checks were returned? No, the checks were not returned. They were cashed at check cashing places and things like that. And there was just a tremendous amount of fraud. Billions of dollars worth of fraud was eliminated by sending those cards out. And I still cannot get the total figure on what those little debit cards that they sent everybody out were, but it just eliminated all that because you had to prove your identity once you got that. So $1,400, this is the highlights, $1,400 a person. It would take 6 to 8 weeks if it got approved. So basically, right now they're talking at the earliest or April 1st, in that range. They're talking about extending unemployment through August and bumping it up to $400, which I really hope they do this because people need the stress alleviated while they're looking for work, and communities are just decimated as a result of this thing, and we really need to see some things cleaned up. And so there's that. The other thing is there's going to be funding for states, schools, and different things like that won't affect the majority of us. The schools, I'm a big fan of them getting funding because I want the kids back in school. I want sports programs, and I think about, my son was a student athlete and he was okay, but it really was something that was a great tool for him because if you don't do well in school, you can't play. And it worked really well with him. And what are you going to do with these kids that are above that level, that are going to go to college, that are being looked at, and you've got areas that are closed? So it's absolutely devastating. So there's that. That's the highlights of it. And again, let's hope they pull this off. Let's hope they put it together. I don't want to tell you things like this until they get it ironed out. So let's get into it. If your business is not eligible for the PPP or you've been turned down, first things first about that. If you're going to apply for a PPP loan, you need to speak with your tax preparer. Now, I have a lot of people that write me, Dan, I use TurboTax, I use this, I use that, QuickBooks for my taxes, whatever, okay? But I really would talk to someone about this and find out who's had success. The most success that I have seen people have as individuals in the smaller companies, the majority of the people that are watching this channel are with the smaller lenders, Lendio and the PayPals and people like that, Bluehost, people like that. And the reason for that is that you can call these people and you can speak to them and you can ask questions and get the answers prior to applying. Because again, apply for a credit card. You're just a number. You qualify, you don't, here's your credit limit, whatever. But, explain your situation to them in detail before you apply. Because, if you can get that, it's a great loan, okay? The second alternative is the Eidl loan. The Eidl loan is a 30-year loan for your business. It's ran through the SBA. You can get this money for operating capital. The grant program has been decimated and destroyed as a result of the SBA's actions, but the loans are available right now. And the loans are getting approved fairly quickly right now, which none of this makes sense. Why, we all got cheated out of the grant and then they're giving it to some people. And again, if you guys read the comments in the videos, you'll see that there are people out there that live basically a block away from the low income zones. Okay. And, they drive through it. They live in it. Okay. But their business may be just outside of it and they're not going to get this money. Now, the disturbing part of this is that I get, people send me the letters from the SBA, and these letters have been, they're in the 3 millions right now as far as the application numbers that I'm seeing. So they're not going in order. I just think that there's going to be millions of businesses upset about that. But the loan is available. If you want to borrow money, it's a very inexpensive loan, and the term, no prepayment penalty. You can pay it off as early as you'd like, which is the best type of loan. But again, if you're going to borrow 10 cents, go out and make sure you have a plan as far as how you're going to use this money and what you're going to use it for. No payment for a year. You accrue interest from the time you get the money. They're giving people reconsideration. If you've already borrowed Eidl money, they're letting people go back to the well, because remember, this shenanigans was not supposed to go on this long. It was supposed to go on a year, okay? So, remember, Javita Carranza, we're going to give you guys 6 months operating capital. Nonsense. How the SBA does this, very simply, your gross sales minus your cost of goods sold equals your gross profit. You divide that by 2, and that is your Eidl loan amount that they do quickly. Now, again, is it 6 months operating capital? In most cases, no, but ask for what you want. Once you get it, it's a pain to get more. You can get it, but it's a pain to get more. And the other thing is, if somebody tells you that they're going to fund you with, hey, you're approved for $145,000, just take what you need. I'm seeing tremendous amounts of people, dozens of emails and phone calls and everything that I'm getting, where people were taking less. Now they can't get the other money. What do you need it for? Like you're 12 asking for the money. So there's that. The next thing is places like Opportunity Fund. These are community lenders. These are nonprofit lenders. Search the term nonprofit lender near you, and these are lenders that lend money to start businesses. Get a lot of people that want to start a food truck. That's where you want to look first, is you want to look for the community lenders in your area. And the other thing is your accountant, okay? Accountants have a fiduciary responsibility with their clients. In other words, they can't tell other clients about you, okay? But you sure can ask questions. Hey, do you know of anybody that's borrowing money? Do you know of anybody that's had success with the PPP program? Who's getting those loans? They can tell you that because they're not telling you who's getting the money. So ask questions, okay? Hopefully you'll get answers from that. Community lenders are the best. The next thing is, if you have a startup, okay, and you're trying to raise money, I see this all the time. And if you have a technology startup, people say, oh, there's no money out there. There's tons of money out there. You just have to know where to look at it. There are rich individuals that will lend you money, and you need to look for these people that will invest in the company, okay, first of all. So many times people come out and they develop something in the medical and healthcare space, and it's going to be a long-term, project. It's not, getting FDA approval, getting something to market can take years. And you need a specific type of lender and a specific type of investor that understands that this is not creating a product, getting it to market and selling it in 6 weeks. It's just not there. So sometimes you get these investors who have made a lot of money in these markets, and they understand it and they're looking for more, and they're perfect for that, okay? So look for that. Also, the other thing is accelerators and incubators, and there's a big difference from accelerators and incubators. An incubator is something that you can bring your business to, and you can get resources, you can get knowledge, you can get access to their experts to help you form your business and grow your business. That's basically the best way to look at that. The accelerator is taking your existing startup, funding it with money, and promoting it to the world. Now, again, people are freaking out right now. Going down, that's really a very simple explanation. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing. But again, I would not go to an accelerator or an incubator that wasn't backed by big money. Now, you can go to the colleges and the universities. They're fantastic. There's one up the street from me that does this. The problem with this is that, do they own a percentage of your technology once you bring it to them? Some of these places say that. So if they don't raise you money, or if they don't move the company forward, you have a lead anchor that's going to take a percentage of the company. And that's the thing about lending money and borrowing money, is it's got to be paid back. That's the advantage to the PPP loan, is that it doesn't have to be paid back. You know, the rumors of the Eidl loan, oh, they're just going to forgive it. It's nothing more than that. It's just a rumor at this point. So the accelerators that do the best, the ones that I've learned from, have a tremendous amount of money. The nations, the world, basically now with this guy, is a man named Paul, one of the coolest men in the world. He worked for an investment bank. He started a challenge for startups to bring medical technology to market. So people apply for this thing. You get leadership, you get tools of the trade, how to market, how to do everything, and then they have a competition, okay? The only thing about this, the best part about this for this guy, is that it is ran by an investment bank, okay? So it gives them a built-in lead source, okay? Now, the winner gets funded by the investment bank, okay? And again, if you ask these questions, you would know that, okay? And you can say, oh, I want to run a hair salon. I want to run a food truck. It's not medical. No, there are still investors. There are still incubators that have this technology. I produce an event called World MedTech Day every May. This May, we're going to have we're going to invite every accelerator in the world that we can find to participate in this, an incubator, so that, you know, you've got small town incubators that are great. You've got big ones, okay? I guarantee you, regardless of where you live, you've got these innovation hubs and places you can go to where you can get advice and get help and get money. Now, the next program, you can go to places to get grants, okay? And we've talked a lot in this channel about grants and different funding like that. Let me give you some examples of different sites for grants. There are a tremendous amount of sites that you can look at for grants, and I'm going to cover these. You've seen me cover these time and again on this site, but take a look at these because this is an alternative for the grant programs. You've got grants.gov, which is a great website to take a look at. The SBIR, which is a site for technology bidding through the federal government as well. You've got the USDA, USDA.gov, has a grant program for rural grants. And you've got USA.gov has got all these different resources there as well. And again, start there. Look for this. If it doesn't apply to you, you know, ask questions. Now, as far as other alternatives, there are great sites like NerdWallet, and I'll leave a link below that has resources. And NerdWallet's constantly updating that for you. So take a look at the link below. And again, when you look at grants, look at the corporate grants. You've got FedEx, you've got AT&T, all these different companies like that offer different grant programs. Cox Communication here in Southern California, the National Association for the Self-Employed. But again, the next step would be lenders. Now, I, as a small business, always looked for smaller ways to get money. You know, do you take credit cards for your business? You can get a credit card advance. If you're doing $5,000 a month or more, it's very easy to get these loans. And start with your credit card processor. Do you guys do credit card advances? You'd be surprised how many do. PayPal does it. And I've referred so many people to PayPal, and they get the money in 15 minutes in their checking account. So, you pay back a percentage. When someone buys from you, okay, they take a percentage. And based on the amount that you borrow, you can even dictate the percentage, 10%, 20%, 25, 30, whatever per sale. And you know what's going to help your cash flow and make it feasible. So take a look at that. Those are always fantastic. You can go to alternative lenders out there. You want a fixed rate loan, okay? And there's a tremendous amount of them out there. If you start searching for these loans on your computer, again, clear your cache so you get something different, and you will be surprised at how many alternative lenders are out there. And again, ask questions. Try to avoid something like this, where they take the money out on a daily payment, okay, or weekly payment, because things happen. And if you've learned one lesson through the Corona shenanigans, and that is that the unexpected is going to happen, and you have to be ready for that. So I hope that these recommendations were good. Reach out. Again, I just wanted to cover these on a very simple level. PPP loan could be a great source for everybody, but if it's not, try the other alternatives and look at the other lenders. Reach out. You can get a hold of me through social media. You've got all the links below. You can email me, join the email list. If you want free stocks through Webull, sign up for that. And I will see you guys very soon. Thank you, one and all.